student athletes. I'm your host, Hunter Bergman, editor-in-chief of the ViewPoint, the student newspaper on campus. Follow us at anyviewpoint.com for your campus connection. Today, I'm here with Joel Ufele, sophomore, basketball player, and rapper.
Part-time rapper.
Tell us how you're doing today.
I'm good, and it's nice to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity, honestly.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Joel Ufele. I'm from London, United Kingdom. That's me.
So what brought you over to Northeast?
To be honest, I took a gap year last season, and that was just to train, work out, spend time with my family and stuff like that, because the year before I was out in Arizona. And one day I just got a phone call saying, do you want to come play for the Hawks? And I said, I'd love to. And that's when I found out that already two players I've played with before, Moses and Junior, played for this team as well. So I kind of called them up and I said, how is it out there? How's it going and stuff like that? And they had nothing but good things to say about this place. So I decided to take the jump, take the leap.
So what's one of the favorite things about this whole transition that you've kind of like found out about yourself or found out about just the world in general?
To be honest, in every part of my life, I've just seen that, when you take a leap into the deep end and stuff like that, you tend to find something new about yourself, and you tend to develop yourself as a person as well. So one thing I've developed out here is firstly how to live alone, how to live far from home and stuff like that. That's just been a huge thing. But also just living with people that I'd never thought I'd ever live with, kind of thing. And just understanding their patterns and the way of lives out here and stuff like that is just all a good experience for me. So I come from like a really busy city, London, central London as well. So that's like maybe like New York.
It's way different than Norfolk, Nebraska.
And then coming out here, I really found, like, a lot of people say, oh, you won't like it, it's boring, this, that, and the other. But I really like it. Like, coming from a busy city, I just feel like this is like a laid-back, kind of chilled kind of place here. Like, a lot of people say hello to you when they see you and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like the nice, common courtesy thing, yeah.
Whereas in London, if you say hello to someone, they really look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, like why are you talking to me right now?
Exactly. So I love it out here, I really do.
It's definitely a different perspective, for sure. So what do you think the biggest difference in culture is?
I don't see much of a culture difference, but I just see a lot of togetherness. I see like if I tell you something, like the small family that Norfolk kind of seems to be, like everyone will find out and kind of like everyone just seems.
It's like a small town. Everybody knows each other.
Everyone seems to gel together quite well. Whereas in London, it seems to be like a mass of different people and stuff like that. So I really enjoy being here, honestly.
Absolutely. It's a nice place. I mean, it's something to get acclimated to, especially, like the people like the last person on my podcast was Max, the goalkeeper. Yeah, he's crazy. I love him too. He's a good friend.
Shout out, Max.
Absolutely. Massimiliano Simonazzi. I'll put the @ right here. But absolutely, he's a super cool dude. But one of the things he talked about was coming from Italy to here. It was, again, completely different. Yeah. So it was like almost a different world for him, especially learning English too. I mean,
he has it quite hard. Like, thankfully, English is my first language and stuff like that, so I'm able to, although people don't understand me sometimes, like if I slow it down and stuff like that, they tend to understand, whereas him, it might be a bit hard. So him learning English in a different place and stuff like that must be a brilliant experience.
Yeah, but it's super cool to see him, because he was talking about, like, there's a big difference in his culture too. So, like, Norfolk is a cool little town, but it's different. It's a different culture. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, people are like, I don't want to go to the big city, or there's just cows out here. I mean, we have a lot of cows, I guess.
The thing with me, like, one thing that a lot of people know me for, like, the one thing I've been saying to a lot of people is, if you got a farm, let me know, because I kind of want to stroke your horse, like, that kind of stuff. Like, because in England, like, you have to go to like a zoo or like the main zoo where there's hundreds of people there already, and it might get a bit stressful and stuff like that. Whereas if you just got a farm in the back of your house, like, that's just something new, and I find that amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, cows are. My friend Blake calls cows like pasture puppies.
I don't know about that one.
They're crazy though, for sure.
I love it. Yeah.
What's the playing level that you're used to compared to in London?
I find being out here, like, it's a lot more fast-paced, and a lot more guys are hungry and want to be better, want to do better. Whereas in England, I find it to be a bit more laid back and a bit less serious. Because like when I came out here, I kind of found out that basketball is like life for some people. So like without this, I haven't got this to go to uni, or the finance to go to uni and stuff like that. So it kind of developed the kind of hunger in me to want to get better as well. So like in essence, the game of basketball in England is much more slower than the game out here, essentially.
You said we're talking about hunger too. What makes you hungry for basketball?
To be honest, the only thing that keeps me hungry every day is just knowing that I've got a family at home. And I'm not going to say, oh, I need to feed them or something like that. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm saying, they want to see me do well. And I'm not away from them for no reason. I'm here to make a life for myself also. So making a life for myself is not necessarily like going to the NBA or playing professional, but I'm using like my skill, talent, and ability in order to like pay for my education kind of thing. So there's many aspects of it, and my sister graduated, so I gotta be next.
You have to.
I have to be next.
Carry on the tradition.
Definitely.
So what's your long-term plan?
To be honest, my long-term plan, I just go with wherever my life's going, to be honest. So like right now, I seem to like sociology, for example. And one thing that I've been wanting to do throughout my life is help with the fostering and adoption process kind of thing, because I've seen that, a lot of kids don't have that guidance that maybe I grew up with, or maybe, you might have grown up with kind of thing. So it's something I want to do. I want to kind of give back. And I've done stuff like that in my life already, but I want to do it at a level in which, I help many people and many people know me for that. Because these days it seems like a lot of people want to be known for the wrong things sometimes. So I just want to do something positive. So, and my mum was kind of an influence on that as well, because she first worked in a manager role at a social workplace, and like now she's adopting and fostering kids. So, and I've seen the kind of happiness like they've had in their lives coming to my house and stuff like that. So I just kind of want to carry on that kind of tradition, honestly.
Well, and children are the seed of the world too. Exactly. I mean, think of those kids are going to be running the government someday, or businesses and stuff like that.
Like, the thing about it, you never know who's going to be who tomorrow. That's why you just got to be good to everyone you meet, to be honest. Yeah.
That's a pretty impactful thing, especially with business. My major is business administration, so I'm always trying to network with people, and especially traveling too. I mean, meeting Max, like 4 years from now, I might be in Italy hanging out with him.
You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Or he might be like the CEO of a big corporation
and hit you up one day.
Absolutely,
honestly,
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, don't sleep on people, for sure.
That's one thing I actually live by, because I've seen a lot of the times, some people take for granted this other person, and then the next day they've blown up to be something that you never imagined they could be. So I just think you just gotta be good to everyone.
Yeah. Like 11,000 views on YouTube. That's what I'm saying. Coming up with it, huh? So what's the next move? Like, let's talk a little bit about your music, because you already got the YouTube. That's your first single?
That's our first song. Yeah, that's our first song. So right now we're working on another song, really. And it's a bit hard with me being out here and the rest of the group being in England. But, I kind of said to them, you guys handle stuff till I get back, kind of thing. And it's not like I'm the main guy or anything like that.
So explain to people what you're out here trying to do with your music.
In terms of music, I just want to spread a positive message. So like, me and my friends grew up in a place called the Regal Court. So we're called RBE because we're called Regal Brothers Entertainment. So Regal means like higher being, and that's the place where we actually started playing. And then brothers, and then entertainment, because that's what we like to do. So with the music thing, it just seems to go in handily with everything that goes on with my life. Like, it's just an extra passion that you have, and it's something that can go together. Like, you don't have to stop basketball to do music kind of thing. They can go hand in hand.
Coexist a little bit, because there's some people in NBA that
be doing the same thing.
Yeah, they got some fire music for sure. So where can people find this?
We're on YouTube, Instagram, we're on all of that. So YouTube, if you type in RBE Let's Talk, you'll see our first video on YouTube. And my Instagram, my friend's Instagram, my Instagram's just Joel Ufele, my name, Joel.
We'll throw it up right here. We'll have it slide in.
Yeah, so that's mine. Yeah, so you find it there as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, good deal. So what's your next move? You're talking a little bit about sociology. Where do you see, what's your huge dream?
With using the subject kind of thing?
Anything, bro. What's just a big dream of yours?
To be honest, I don't have a specific big dream, because I've seen that, ways that you don't necessarily expect people prospering, and I tend to enjoy anything, to be honest. But I just want to be able to do something in the sense that a lot of kids and a lot of people that maybe don't have the opportunities that I've had or anything like that can just look at me and say, anything is possible kind of thing. And that's not necessarily saying I came from a bad place or anything like that. It's just saying that, like, you never expected to be at the position you're at when you're finally there, kind of thing. So I just want to be able to be an example or role model to the younger generation.
So just taking opportunities as you see them.
Precisely, honestly.
What's a couple interesting things about you?
I like cars. I like car movies. The kind of music I listen to, that would be a good one.
What do we got? What's your favorite jams?
You're about to find out. Oh, I actually listen to some Justin Bieber.
What?
I ain't gonna lie.
The JB?
I'm not going to lie to you right now. Like, if I show you the videos on my phone right now, it's like, even on my Snapchat right now, it's just me listening to Justin Bieber.
I think I've seen that on your Instagram, a couple of your Instagram stories a couple times. But he is a talented person, though. I mean, you can't hate on the Bieber, you know?
A lot of people hate on him, but like, I feel like they're not giving his music an opportunity.
No.
And especially his olden day stuff. I really mess with that kind of thing.
Well, I think it was kind of the stigma that, his demographic was like younger generation kids, because when he came up, he was younger. So I think everybody was jealous of him. I mean, the Biebs was out here with like the girls and everything. I mean, come on, you hate him because you couldn't be him.
To be honest, because a lot of people, if they were in that position as well, they'll do the same thing and they'll enjoy it the way he is. But in essence, anything that happens today, you're gonna have people that look at you like. So that's just life.
That is life for sure.
That's just life.
So what does the grind mean to you?
The grind. See, the grind has a lot of definitions to me. Like, because I see the grind as like something that you really have to find inside you first of all. Like, I don't think you can just go out and just grind. I don't think it works like that. I think you have to decide in yourself that you want to get to a specific place. So you have to have like a aspiration or a goal for yourself in order to find that grind and act out on that grind, kind of thing. So like for me, I don't have a specific role model or anything like that, but I just know I want to be the best that I can be personally. So I don't necessarily look up to anyone or anything like that, but I just know I want to reach my full potential. So anytime I'm doing something, I just try and go the hardest I can. So like every time in practice, say I'm tired now, then the more I push this bar is the better I'm gonna get. So that's one thing that I think to myself, I just want to be the best person I can be for myself, and people can look at me and say, that's the definition of grind right there. That's what it is.
So what's one thing that motivates you?
One thing that motivates me is success. I just think if I'm successful in what I do, then I've accomplished something. And one thing that motivates me as well is my family as well, because I've seen that they can overcome anything. So I'm just thinking to myself, why can't I? Why can't I overcome barriers that I go through every day and stuff like that? I think the motivation just comes from everything you've come from, or like your culture, or what you've grown up to see and stuff like that. I think that's where the motivation stems from.
Nice. I was trying to think in my head like the next question I was gonna ask. Yo, but honestly though, that is pretty powerful though, to live by something like that, because a lot of people, they just coast through their day, you know, like especially at a junior college, you don't see those people who are really trying to strive and prosper. Besides the people who are on like scholarship and stuff, because that's how they are getting into education.
Yeah. But it's just a thing where you just have to just everything in life you just have to find from yourself. You have to really look at yourself and just take the picture of yourself and think, I'm here today, I want to be here tomorrow. Honestly, that's actually what I live by every day. Every day.
So you were talking about whipping the cars around, huh?
Oh,
yeah. What's your favorite car?
So like, I'm really into the Mustangs. I really like Mustangs. But coming out to America, I've seen like a lot of pickup trucks and horsepower. Like, I've seen real horsepower. Like, and I just find it all amazing. Like, I don't even know where it stems from or anything, but I just know like. So like when I was 15, I got my first car, kind of thing. Like, and when I got my first car, I started buying and selling cars. So like, I had like my first car was a Peugeot 101. I don't even know if you know.
Yeah, I know what a Peugeot is.
That's a little Peugeot 101, and that was kitted out. I kind of sported out and stuff like that. And then I bought that for £500, so that was like $600. And then I sold that for $800. And then that kind of thing just kind of motivated me to do more and more and more. And that was like when I was 15 as well. So then after I bought that first one, I bought another one with that 800, and then it just kind of stemmed from there. And then in the whole process of like making money and stuff like that, I had the opportunity to like, if there's something wrong with the car, I gotta go get that fixed in order, for me to sell it on, kind of thing. So that kind of thing, I think it kind of built like some kind of energy to love cars, for example. And then in that whole process, I got my first car. When I got my first car, kitted that out, like that was crazy.
What kind of car was that?
So I had a Renault Dynamic Sport, right?
Okay.
So like, I got the tinted windows, blacked out rims, kind of thing.
6-speed?
No, all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, yeah, I was on gear stick as well. In England, we use manual.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
In England, we're real manual. I used to race people, all that kind of stuff.
I'm a huge Forza player, so I got all that. I got all that on.
Honestly, I don't even know what it is. And then watching Fast and Furious and stuff like that.
There's like a fire. For
I really do. Well, I swear, I really watch it, and I'm just like, wow. Like when I watch some of the episodes and stuff, I'm just like, wow. Like that kind of, I don't know why. It's just a random thing that I really like.
It's an appreciation too. It's a car culture.
Honestly, I don't think people understand. Like, people just hop into their car and just drive every day. Like, I just think to myself, do you know how much individual parts there are to create that one motion of moving and turning on the engine and stuff like that? I'm thinking about it too deep right now. But
so many. There's over 1 million pieces probably.
See, I'm thinking about it deep as hell right now, but yeah, I really like cars.
Well, it's almost an art if you think of. If you look at the Lamborghinis and the Porsches. Honestly. It's to strive to create the best vehicle. It's a tough competitive market too.
Honestly, and then when you look at all these rappers and stuff like that with their nice cars and stuff like that, you just look and you just think that's amazing, to be honest.
And I feel like a lot of people though don't really appreciate that. They just buy the car just to have the flashy car instead of buying it for what it's more than it really is.
Honestly, and if to be honest, if I became like wealthy enough or whatever, I would buy like an antique car and kind of remodel and refurbish it in order for it to work again.
Like a retro mod.
A real retro one. I gotta have at least one in my life.
I really want an old Mercedes.
See,
CLK. Just one of the old school ones with the tinted windows I could just cruise around in.
I just find that kind of stuff amazing. Like, I really don't know what it is about, because no one else in my family really likes cars like that. They just drive. Like, you just want to drive.
I have a couple friends with some fast cars. Maybe we can go cruising sometime.
See, there's the kind of energy I like.
Absolutely. I love it. My brother and we're all gearheads. Like we grew up riding 4-wheelers and like racing BMX and stuff like that. So like I'm all about speed and adrenaline.
And I kind of like motorbikes as well. That's a new one I've kind of come on, because in England, like I just used to like get on all my friends like mopeds and stuff like that. You guys call it mopeds, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to get on all my friends mopeds and stuff like that. And because in England we haven't got like massive highways and stuff like that, it's more like corner streets and stuff like that. So like on a moped going down the street is kind of crazy. Like the adrenaline is crazy and stuff like that. So one thing I want to do as well, I want to learn how to do the gear more back.
Oh, like the clutch.
Because I can't do that.
I gotta show you this. Maybe sometime we can go. I just finished. See if we can find it. Pretty sure I downloaded it. But I just finished a build on my 4-wheeler, and it's a TRX 450R. So like.
I love quads.
Oh, she cruises too.
I love quads.
She cruises too.
When I went on holiday to vacation in Greece, that's one thing all my friends got. We got all quads and motorbikes and stuff like that.
Just cruise around. This is my brother.
Yeah, that's lit.
I don't know why there's no sound to it, but
you see these are these gears?
Yeah. Yep. He's like shifting through it.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, my brother's crazy, but we all have a good time.
I wouldn't know what to do with the gears.
Yeah, maybe we can learn sometime.
I feel like I'll die.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll
we got helmets.
Yeah, because you know what I used to do, like especially on holiday and stuff like that. I used to sometimes forget and hold on to.
The twist throttle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I used to hold on to that and then press the brake at the same time by accident. I don't know why, but so learning gears will just mess with my head. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like in gears and cars and stuff like that, it's easy as hell to me. But then on a motorbike, I just feel like
it's different. It's definitely hard because you have to like shift down once.
you have to use your foot.
Then it's up 5.
Shit,
Yeah.
That's too much for my
Yeah,
head.
that's too much.
Way too much.
It's pretty easy to learn though. Yeah, I learned on a little one. Like it's called the TRX 90, and it's just like a little tiny like.
What cc is it?
It was like a 90 cc.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
So it was a little guy. Yep. And you didn't even have the clutch. It was just semi-automatic. So you would just shift up with it.
See, that sounds much easier. That's one thing I need to do. Yeah.
But honestly, though, throwing yourself in it, like you're saying, push yourself outside of your boundaries, man. Get on
Yeah,
it.
but this is pushing myself to death.
I tell you what, I got a pretty slow quad. It's called the Yamaha Warrior 350, and it's just a little guy.
That's what I need to begin with. I know that. Because if I jump on a big boy and just die,
Yeah, it's
be good.
definitely. I mean, you can definitely scare yourself pretty easily, especially with that one. I mean, I'll go 40 miles an hour in second gear.
Oh, yep. See.
Yeah, and there's like 5 gears, so it's like
I'm out. I'm out.
So, what's one thing that you'd like to tell people about? You know, like London.
A lot of people ask me if I know the Queen. I'm just gonna make it very clear right now. I don't know her. I really don't. But I tell you what, like she does live quite near me, to be honest. She lives like walking distance, so Buckingham Palace isn't too far from where I live, to be honest. But I never see her. Like I don't think anyone really sees her, to be honest, because she's not really out and stuff that much.
She's pretty old too. How old is she?
So I don't know. She's at least 90. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yeah, I never see her.
It's different living in like a monarchy, right? That's the political system.
Yeah.
So do you think it's different than, or do you think it's better than the United States is? Or do you see like a giant difference?
To be honest, there's just a big difference. To be honest, like living in England and living in America can never be in the same sentence. For example, like a lot of people are shocked when I say the majority of our police do not have guns. Like they have like tasers and stuff and like batons and stuff like that. Like in England, it's just a lot. Obviously, there's like little gangs and stuff like that, but it's not at the level in which America have, like, for example, Bloods and Crips, and then the little divisions from there and stuff like that. And like the culture in England that you're brought up with is a lot more different to the culture like out here. So like you guys like take offense to like certain words and stuff like that, whereas in England, like we kind of say that kind of stuff as a joke and stuff like that, and it's all fine. So like even me coming out to America, like when I was talking and chilling with my friends and stuff like that, I used to say some stuff and they used to look at me like, who are you talking to? And then, you know, as they got to know me and stuff like that, they kind of understood that.
I think that's just kind of your personality. That's how it is.
In England, it's just like a casual kind of thing and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So would you describe people from England more of like a laid back?
I'd say, I would say laid back, but also I'd say like, rather than like getting angry rather than getting angry about a situation or anything like that, they tend to really think about the scenario and think about the consequences or what could happen after the situation kind of thing. So we tend to, as crazy as it sounds, we tend to like think about what could happen after a lot more. Yeah.
What do you think of Donald Trump?
See, that kind of situation is a bit, I just think it's very crazy to me. Like, we were watching it all from England and stuff like that, and we were just kind of thinking, like, your president is on Twitter, your president replies to people on Twitter.
It's kind of harshly sometimes too.
And to be honest, but the thing with that, there's two minds to it, because the thing with that is, you just got a president that really interacts with the people on a different scale. But then in the same breath, like, you wouldn't want your president to be that kind of intimate with that whole kind of social media thing. But, you know, I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest, because first of all, I don't live here. I can only go off what's happening on social media and stuff like that. And even then, social media tends to portray stuff in the wrong way and stuff like that. So I don't really have an opinion on it.
I was just curious on the outside view, because you like obviously said you don't live here. So it's just interesting to see, because it's all happened from inside, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people outside don't really know the details of who or what he's doing out here, or like what he's doing for the people out here. A lot of people just see like the kind of thing that social media shows you and stuff like that. And I'm the kind of person that really wants to read into like what the specific person is doing before I make a judgment on the person. Yeah.
Experience?
Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no, he says.
No.
But no, but it's cool. Like, have you ever listened to podcasts or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a podcast called hold on, it'll come to me now. I'm about to find out. I've got to
Google it, bro. Whip your phone out.
I've got to find out right now. I'm gonna FaceTime one of the RBE members right now. He's the one that tells me about it.
Yo, tell him what's up, and then put him to the camera.
I'm gonna do it. Hey Junior.
What up?
You're on an interview right now. You're on a podcast right now. So you're on camera right now. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
First of all, shout out yourself. You know. Say who you are. We've been talking about RBE. We've been talking about everything.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
film
I'm
to the
Junior.
camera.
From London, part of the group RBE. Yeah, man, it's a movement. Shout out to Joel.
But we were gonna ask you, what's that podcast that you always listen to?
3 shots of tequila.
That's the one. That's one. Alright, thank you, bro.
I'm just about to listen to it as well. It's funny.
That's the one.
Yo, give him a shout out to Instagram.
Hey, shout out your Instagram, bro.
Oh, okay. At JR, why not underscore?
What is it?
At JR, why not underscore?
We got you.
Man, we'll get it.
Cool, see you.
Peace, bro.
That's cool. Those 3 shots of tequila. Is it just like a hangout?
Yeah, that's what makes it so interesting. So basically, it's 3 friends that sit next to each other, kind of thing, and essentially they just talk about topics that people send in. So sometimes people talk about real silly stuff. Sometimes people talk about their dilemmas and stuff like that. And I just find it so interesting. Honestly, I just find it so interesting that some people go through the kind of stuff that they do go through, like stuff that I wouldn't imagine me in that kind of situation, kind of thing. All that kind of stuff just really makes me laugh sometimes.
Thanks for listening to The Grind, the podcast that highlights the hustle of student athletes. I was here with Joel Ufele. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at theviewpoint.com. What's your Instagram, my guy?
At JOELUFELE. It should be somewhere here.
Aight.